The movie of today is Gremlins because I got some Gremlins in my computer. I got some Gremlins on StreamYard. My not even 3 months old computer just crashed and I'm stuck in recovery assistance. So I'm using my trusty dusty phone here. Um, I'm playing the countdown music and it's sounding funky, but it's KB. I love movies. That's all we're here to talk about. Uh, Problems with technology be damned. It's a month of damn things, so spooky season is here. Hope everyone's enjoying their weekend if they're not working today. If you've been here before, welcome back. If it's the first time here, welcome. Welcome. Hang out with us. Hope you enjoyed today's chat. Ah, this is the homie today. I gotta tell you. Um, this is my guy. These are my people. Sometimes, depending on the lighting, you might see a Canada flag behind me. You might see me wearing a Leafs hat. Not that he would, but you know, I've quickly become friends with him and his wife. I love the kind of content that he puts up. He's a real collector, not just Blu-rays and 4Ks and DVDs, but everything movie related. He is a collector in the sense of movie memorabilia as well. All around good guy, and I think more of you need to get to know him. So I'm bringing in my friend Eric. You may call him the Zombie Daddy.
What's
What's
up,
up,
KB?
brother? What's up, brother? What's
Much.
going on?
When you were talking about your computer there, I thought instead of Gremlins, you're going to say Ghost in the Machine.
That too. That too, because I'm looking at the screen and it says select the Wi-Fi network. It's not giving me any choices. So it's another one could be Catch 22. So we have our choices of titles of books and movies today. But I want to know,
Right.
how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Busy day of unpacking and cleaning some stuff up in the
Mm-hmm.
kitchen, and just a busy day. How
Yeah.
about you?
Yeah. I'm good. Nice relaxing day. Very cold here in Kansas City. So got my
Same
Scully
here. Same
on.
here.
I'm rocking a little representation of my night last night. The wife and I
Wow.
went to see Carpenter Fest, 3 movie marathon. We got a chance to see The Fog, which is your wife Melissa's favorite
Yeah.
movie.
Melissa's favorite
Then
movie. Yep.
then we got a chance to see The Thing. I think you like that one a little bit.
Love that movie. Yeah.
And then finally Christine. Related to that, I was going to put up a little thumbnail for it, but related to that, yesterday a bunch of YouTubers, including Eric here, had a chance to share what their favorite John Carpenter directed film is and why. I put out a little question to some of them, and some of the responses that I got is up on YouTube. So please go up to the YouTube channel, check it out. Leave your comment. What is your favorite John Carpenter directed movie? Put that in the comments. But, you know, we had fun
That
doing
was
that. What's that?
that was one of the hardest assignments you gave me. Uh, I love all his movies. So, but the thing, it's definitely a masterpiece.
Yeah, I even had a hard time trying to answer it myself. I'm like, favorite or best? To me, the thing is the best, but my favorite is still Halloween, and that's a nostalgia thing for me. That's just pure nostalgia answer. There's probably better, but as far as you know, I know what I'll be watching on October 31st because
For
it's so
sure. Yeah.
cliche and I've done it so many years. So why stop now?
Yeah.
Uh, but we're going to have fun. We're going to talk a little more about Eric. We're going to talk about his channel. We're going to kind of mix in this whole zombie thing into our spooky season questions. So before we do, I always like to start with a non movie question. And I could ask you so many. But the one I decided to go with is a recent statement, as recent as when I was watching the 49ers game earlier. And I said, what do you do when you like American football, you live in Canada, and there's not a local team? You find some other team to like. So what
Yeah.
made you a Detroit Lions fan?
That's a good question. So I remember I think I was like 10 years old, and I only had a couple channels on my TV. I remember I think I was grounded, so
Hmm.
I just turned on the TV. Football was on. I think it was Green Bay and Detroit, and
Mm.
I was watching this guy just run all over Green Bay and kept getting all the touchdowns, and I was like, "Who's that guy?" And that was Barry Sanders, obviously,
Yeah.
one of the best running backs ever, if not the best. But I watched it and then didn't think anything of it, and then maybe a couple weeks went by, and I caught them on TV again, and I was like, I just picked them. I was just like, you know what, I love that running back. I'm gonna pick the Detroit Lions as my football team because my dad actually watched some football. Like I watched the Super Bowls with him when the Buffalo Bills were in it, like three
Hmm.
times in a row, and they kept losing.
Yeah.
He was
To my
cheering
New
for the
York
Bills.
Giants, I might say,
Yeah,
at the time.
he so he was cheering for the Bills because we're in Toronto area.
Hmm.
So that was a team that usually people in Canada cheer for is the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah. And
Um,
I guess on the West Coast, it would be, like Seattle or whatever.
yeah. Like if you're in Vancouver, probably Seattle. But yeah, I just fell in love with Barry Sanders and started liking Detroit from 10 years old till now.
Yeah.
Um, Went through a lot of heartache, being a Detroit Lions fan.
Yeah.
It's like my wife says, she's like, you just like to root for the teams that, will make you, I don't know, just give you the most heartache. And even
Yeah.
my hockey team, the Canucks, never won a Stanley Cup. I don't
I
know
was
what it
just
is.
about to say your hockey team is no better.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
but I
So
have to say the Lions look much improved this season, without getting too much
yeah,
into the sports ball talk. But
yeah, for sure. They're playing right
yeah.
now. Actually, they're winning. I think last
Yes.
time I checked.
So if I see you tilting your head or looking down at your phone, I know why. I'll give you that grace.
I'll try not to. I'm
Um,
trying to just not watch it.
no, it's cool. I know how it is being a sports fan. Um, we're not alone, so we need to say hi to some people. Always love having people watching us on the live stream and also checking in with the chat. So I'm about to do that. See who's here. Um, we
Who's
have
that? Who's
Adrian
that?
James. I know, right? We have Adrian James.
What's up,
We
Adrian?
have someone here you might know. You could share with everyone who doesn't know who she is.
This is my
Who she
wife,
is.
Melissa. Yeah.
Hi, best friend.
Hi, Melissa. How are you?
We got Holland Oates checking in.
What's up,
We
Holland
got
Oates?
we got Movie Hunter checking in. Salute, the man with all the steel books. That's what your name should be. Forget about Movie Hunter 2020. That was 3 years ago. Change it to the man with all the steel books. I like that one. Let's see. And I got a separate computer over here because the ghost in the machine, as he said. We got Jeff checking in. Good evening, sir. Happy Sunday to you. We got Mama Blu-ray on the check-in. How's it going, Bonnie?
Blu-ray.
We got Corey in the house. I like that.
What's up? What's up?
Disney. Let's see. We got Michael joining us. Hello. We got new comments. If I could get to it. Everything is screwing up today, bro. It's all good. It's all good. I love listening in while working. Makes the day go by so much quicker. Well, thanks for the check-in, man. We appreciate you being here. Let's see. Yeah, all three movies, and it was great. We were able to chill at Screenland Armor, which is where I met up with the Rad Pack. If you sit in the front two rows, it's leather, comfy couches. So we got there early enough to grab a comfy couch. So we were able to do everything from cuddle to spread out over the 6 hours. So that was cool.
I'm so
Movie,
jealous.
movie Hunter favorite is a thing. Yes. Don't like many of his movies. I do enjoy Halloween, Starman, and Memoirs of the Invisible Man. Yeah, you like some of them, so that's better than most people. I can't
Yep.
name like 3 movies I like from directors I don't like. And
Prince
the,
of
and the
Darkness.
most
Definitely check that out.
yeah, and the more movies in a filmography, you're gonna have more misses than hits for sure. Memoirs of an Invisible Man, one that's definitely not talked about enough. And Dark Star,
No,
Prince of Darkness, yeah, good ones.
definitely underrated ones. Yeah,
Yeah, we got the monkey in the house. You're earlier than
the
before.
monkey.
What a spooking treat for sure for your guests in your head, zombies. I am not the Cranberries. I am not singing. I'm not going any further. But thanks for
Should have
joining
been
us.
the that should have been the intro.
I know. I was saying that before. I was like, damn, I didn't put any music on the IG story. And I was like, what would I have put? And then that came to my head. I was like, yeah, in your head. Oh yeah, thanks for the update. Lions are up by 7. There you go,
See, I
Jeff.
won't have to look at my phone if he keeps updating me. So
Yeah,
update me.
keep updating him, Jeff. That'll be good. Except if
Unless they're
they,
losing, then don't tell me.
yeah, he don't want to hear that. Let's see who else is here with us. If I skip you, blame the computer, not me. Uh, yeah, Starman is never mentioned. Never mentioned. They showed Screenland is cute because they'll show you like coming soon, but then they'll show you old trailers. And if it's something focused, they'll show you like something related to it. So like when I went to the Nightmare on Elm Street marathon, they showed you all the Jason Friday the 13th trailers before each movie. Of course, there's more that they didn't show. So this time they showed you all the John Carpenter movie trailers before you saw the John Carpenter movie. So I saw the Starman trailer probably for the first time since I was a kid. So that was cool. Showed Prince of Darkness as well. It is amazing. Yeah.
Starman is his only one that I believe he. Well, it wasn't him, but I think Jeff Bridges was nominated for Academy Award, right?
Yeah, I believe so. He gave a great performance in that movie.
Unless the score was nominated.
That could be too. I mean, Carpenter has some great ones. Jersey in the house. What up? What up? What up, Jerry? We got Benicio in the house. Callie in the house. What's up, my man? Thanks for checking in. Yeah, Alice Cooper. Good one. Good one. All right. So Eric's been here before as far as seeing some of these live streams. So we're going to take him through the spooky season 5 takes, spending a lot of time talking movies, of course. So we're going to start with something I don't know as a friend of yours, which is number 1. Name the horror movie that made you fall in love with the genre. How did this obsession and collection all get started?
Okay, well, this is a long story. I'll try to make it short. But but it was actually my siblings. I'm a youngest of 4. So my older brother's about 11 years older than me, and my one sister's about 9 years older than me. So they were really into horror. My whole family is into horror movies. So I was probably 7 when I saw my first real horror movie, and that was Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nice.
My sister was having a slumber party, and she was supposed to watch me. So I went down there. She told me not to tell that they're watching horror movies. I had a blanket covering my face, but of course, being a little bit curious, I peeked and I saw. I don't know if the scene where Nancy's runs into that student, and if she falls on the ground and she's like, um, "No running in the hall, Nancy," and that freaked the hell out of me. And I still remember that to this day. But
Yeah.
like watching that scene with them,
Yeah.
and then after that, it was with my other sister, who's 2 years older than me, us going to rent every Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, having a marathon at like 14 years old, watching all of them,
Nice.
and then my brother making us rent The Changeling, us watching that, and it just grew from being really scared of all these movies to
Yeah.
actually loving them, and
Yeah.
it just yeah, grew from there.
Yeah. A good one. Whether you laugh with him or you're scared of him, Freddy Krueger is a real scream. Yeah. I mean, I think that's how it starts for a lot of people. It's like you're scared and you end up liking that feeling.
Yeah.
Or, you're spooked in some way and you just want more of that. So,
Definitely.
yeah. Yeah. I don't know when the transition happened, but when I was a little kid, I hated horror movies, but somewhere along the double digits, it's like it kicked in. It might have been so I was 13 or 14. I would say 12 or 13 when VHS and video store rentals and all that started popping off. And, you know, going from the renting Indiana Jones and the Romancing the Stones to, wait a minute, the guy at the video store will let me rent anything, to things that I shouldn't be renting and let me rent that rated R movie. Now I'm watching Dress to Kill and Body Double and Body Heat. And I'm like, well, what about some horror movies? You know, I keep seeing that skeleton or that skull on the wall, and you know, and I think that's what it was. And then I had a younger cousin who he's like, I got shot at. I'm not afraid of anything. So we started watching horror movies together, and it was like, come on, scare us, scare us. I remember one day, and I'm going to talk about this when I record my Rad 9 movies that scared us, but we're watching, like, it was like the third movie. I think it was Faces of Death 2. And we're laughing at the stuff that they're showing. So we take it out, and the next movie up was this new movie that just came out called Demons. And I don't know what it was. Maybe the whole thing with the theater and all that in the movie cinema scared the shit out of us. And it was like, take it off, take it off. And we were both saying the same thing to each other, but nobody's moving. Take it off, take it off. And we finally took it off. But I was like, okay, that spooked me, but it was a good spook. I like this feeling. Somebody else hopped in here. We got Tiana in the house, fellow Canadian.
Tiana?
Good
Yeah.
Canadian girl. Let's see. Who else? Everybody saying hi to each other. Love that. Let's see. Crazy Italian horror. Yeah. All right. So for this, I asked Eric, I was like, let's change it up a bit. Oh, talking about change it up a bit. We got somebody else joining us in here. I did see their name before. Hi.
Hey, that's my son right there. Hi, Logan.
And the creator of his intro. If you ever check out his videos, go to his YouTube channel. You
my
will
son
see,
created that intro.
yeah, the fine work of Logan Zombie. So definitely give it a follow when you get there. Subscribe and follow. Yeah. So we're gonna do question 2 a little bit different. I already know what's coming, more or less, and we're gonna do it with a focus. We're gonna play into the name here a little bit, and we're gonna talk zombie movies. So, with that in mind, name some of your favorite zombie movies, despite what's on the screen.
Some of my favorite zombie movies.
Yeah. Where are you gonna start?
When am I gonna start?
Yeah.
Definitely gonna start with Dawn of the Dead, the OG.
OG.
Right there. Try to get in that camera there.
Yes.
Sorry, my lighting's kind of. But anyways, this is obviously one of the best zombie movies ever made. Everybody knows this movie. George Romero, classic. Of course, Night of the Living Dead is what started it, but I feel this movie did it 10 times more and like gruesome. And Tom Savini, obviously the effects.
Yeah.
Obviously the zombies kind of look, he even says they look, he wanted to make them gray, but they ended up looking blue. But no, I love this movie.
Yeah.
And I see you have the second sight too.
Of course.
I missed out on that big box.
You know what? I really didn't need it. I was like, in this case, it'd be cool to read all that stuff. I probably will never get to it. But I just wanted, when I found out that this also had all the cuts and all the special features, like it's the same pressing of the disc and everything, I said, you know what? I'm just going to get that. Yeah. Book and art cards in the bigger box.
And
if
much,
you had
much
a chance,
more expensive. So.
Oh yeah, big difference. Big difference. Yeah. And I don't even know the price that I pay for this. It's in my app or whatever, but I was pleasantly surprised when I purchased it. I was going to say, if you had a chance to go through all 3 cuts, do you have a favorite?
So actually, I just watched the Argento cut a couple days
Hmm.
ago for the first
Yeah.
time. And like obviously the music's different. That's from Goblin, which
Hmm.
I do find him does make the movie a little bit better.
Yeah.
Um, like I know some people might disagree, but I found like even though it's the same movie, it's felt a little different to me, and I don't know
Yeah.
what it was. It's just the music added a lot of different layers to the film.
Yeah. I'm typically a purist. I don't like things like remakes and like things being done differently. But there's two movies that I thought the the change in it was pleasantly surprising. So the Argento cut of this movie, and going way way back, if you ever check out the original version of Metropolis, and then there's a different version with Giorgio Moroder's music in it, so it gives it kind of like an 80s vibe, and
Really,
the music that they chose kind of goes along with the movie, which you would think this is really trippy, man. How is it like matching up and everything? But it
yeah.
really does, and it just
And
gives
that
a
was the
total
same with this.
different feel. Yeah, it gives a
It
totally
was
different
just
feel to the movie, but it's different
definitely
than what we've watched like on VHS and DVD all these years for sure.
for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, I haven't watched this movie in a while, and watching it a couple of days ago, I was like, you know, like obviously the zombies don't look the best, but the story and how it plays out, the beats,
Hmm.
it's still good to this day. Like it hasn't really aged that badly
Yeah.
for a movie
Yeah.
from the 70s.
Yeah. Now, earlier this month, I'm glad I'm finally able to say that because I am doing 31 conversations in 31 days, and this is officially halfway point, more or less. And I've had fun doing these conversations, and I included one over on my friend Dell's channel, Dell on Movies, and we did a movie swap where I finally, after 31 years, watched Candyman. Yes, I know everybody makes the same face, and he watched the remake of Dawn of the Dead. So I know we're going to talk about that for a minute, but I'll just ask up
Oh, yeah.
front: do you have a preference between the two?
Um, to me, obviously, Dawn of the Dead, the remake is probably one of my favorite remakes.
Me too.
But I find that yeah, it leads to the same kind of conclusion, like them in the mall and all that. But I find it's a different movie. I think it's the way it's played out is so much different than the original.
Yeah.
And just the opening scene I'll just hold it up here
Yeah.
for this remake is one of the best opening scenes I think
Oh
in movie
yeah.
history.
Oh yeah.
So they're different. Like obviously they share the same name, but I find I lean towards the original just because I watched that a lot more.
Hmm.
But definitely the remake is one of my favorite remakes.
Yeah. I find that because we lived longer with the original, it tends
Yeah.
to be that nostalgia for it. But I mean, you go from social commentary to, I mean, consumerism to social commentary, and it's just amazing. That's why, I mean, we established that night that I don't really call it a remake anymore. I call it a remix. And just like how you could have a remix of a song and it's like different enough to stand on its own, I feel the same way about this. It's one of the ones that it could stand on its own as far as being a movie, and you could respect them in the same tone separately, for sure.
It's the same with the thing, right? It's a remake, but
Hmm.
they're
It's
totally
almost like
different
a
movies.
retelling. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we have a friend who is an actor in the remake. Who's
Yeah,
that?
he's yeah, we have a friend Billy who's actually an extra in the opening. He's one of the bigger zombies running
Hmm.
towards the wall, and you see him a couple times actually in that film. So
Nice. Nice.
yeah,
Yes, I agree. One of the best openings. The only problem is, and I see you have the Screen Factory version, the 4K. If you watch
yeah,
the director's cut, it takes a while to get to that opening, like we know from the
yeah, yeah. It
theatrical
does.
release. and it kind of takes you out of it by the time you get into it. So it's like you want that right as you jump into the movie. So that's one of the reasons I prefer the theatrical cut of the remake compared to the director's cut, which you get more, but
Definitely,
lines up by
definitely. At least,
11. Lines
yes.
up by 11, Jeff says.
But yeah, no, definitely. The director's cut does take much longer. I do
Hmm.
prefer the theatrical cut as well.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's totally different. Like if you watch the director's cut, like I almost forgot about the opening, like because it took so long to get there. I was like
Yeah.
watching them, watching. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh wait, yeah. Then that
Yeah. I
Johnny
wa-
Cash song hits.
Yeah. That's when you know it's coming. I watched it with my wife
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, let me check out this director's cut. And I'm sitting there watching with her and she's looking at me like, I thought you saw this movie. I'm like, it didn't open like this in the theatrical version. That's all I know. Why are they in a hospital? It's like, come on, man, get to the good part.
they
Comment from,
not.
oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. So it's
Uh,
definitely the director's cut's not as good as his Batman v Superman director's cut.
yeah, yeah, big difference in that. Michael asked me, did I like Candyman? I will tell you yes, but if you want more, go back and watch Dell on Movies Movie Swap with me. It's 2 weeks old, so go back and watch it. You can get the full
Definitely have to
details.
check that out because
Yeah,
we've been telling you to watch Candyman for a while, so I got to see what you thought.
I know, I know. Talking about the man, he just popped up here. What's up, Del? We're just talking
Uh,
about our movie swap that we did because we're doing a little comparison between the original and the remix of Dawn of the Dead. So perfect timing. And I was just saying that, we had our little movie swap. And to answer your question, Michael, I saw it just popped up here. Dell had me watch Candyman, and I had him watch the Dawn of the Dead remake. So, yeah,
that was
it
his
was,
first time watching the Dawn of the Dead remake.
yeah, yeah. So it was good. It was fun. Good episode.
What did you think, Dale?
Yeah. Um, just a quick synopsis what you thought of Dawn of the Dead remake since we're talking about it here, Del. What else? It's interesting the way they compared character focus between the original and the remake too. I felt it was more of like a ensemble in the original. Like there was no one clear star. Whereas in the
Yeah,
remake, they really try to make it about Sarah Polley, retired actress Sarah Polley, and
yeah.
in a way, kind of like Bing Rames as well.
Ving Rhames and a little bit of trying to remember his name in the movie. I think it was Michael in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
He was kind of a starring role in it. But the original Dawn, yeah, all four of them, it seemed like they were the
Mm-hmm.
star. Like when you lose Steve in the original Dawn of the Dead, it's shocking, but it's like you still have nothing, Rames. I'm sorry, you still have Ken Foray, and you still have the girl. So
Yeah,
Francine, right?
I believe that's her name. Yeah.
Do you guys
He
do you
says,
know his original ending though?
"No, I don't."
So the original ending for Dawn of the Dead, he wanted them all to die. So it's going to be when they reach the rooftop. Um, Spoiler, I'm not gonna say what happens, but the original ending that he wanted was Ken Foray shoots himself in the head when the zombies are coming, and
Mm.
Francine, I think she puts her head in the propellers and kills herself, and that's how it's supposed to end. The camera's gonna go up, well, and then you see the helicopter die. That they wouldn't have
Oh
made it
wow!
anyway.
Oh
Yeah,
wow!
but the studio wanted more of a happy, heroic ending.
Yeah, we've been talking about that throughout the month. How some people and others don't, but some people need their horror movies to have happy endings. They need a final girl, or they need some people getting away, or whatever the case may be. I'm for
Especially
whatever,
now,
man.
yeah,
Yeah,
especially
these
nowadays.
these
Yeah,
days, yeah, it's color by numbers these days.
yeah.
It's yeah. But going back, Dell says he liked it, and he said the same thing I said. If you want more, check the replay. So
I'll
I'm
definitely
I'm
check it out
glad
now.
we're both on the same page when it comes to promotion. Oh, that's right. Sarah Paula, retired
Yep, she's
Canadian
Canadian.
actress.
Yep.
Oh, yes. And this is something Eric put up on his Instagram stories
Yeah.
for both these women today. Rest in peace to Piper Laurie and Suzanne Summers.
Rest in
Yeah,
peace.
I just see Piper Laurie, True Villain and Carrie, Suzanne Summers, Three's Company all day.
Definitely.
Yeah.
My brother grew up watching that, and I used to watch it with him. Like he was a huge fan of the show, and then
Yeah.
I became a huge fan of Three's Company, and yeah, so it's sad, but
Yeah. Those older siblings, man, they kind of shape your likes and dislikes more than you realize it.
definitely, definitely.
Anything else on either of the Dawn of the Dead you want to add to this?
Um, just that in the remake, I don't know if you know this, but during the credits, Ken
Yeah.
Foree and
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and Tom Savini, they're all in the background there. And I think he's I don't know if Savini's the evangelistic guy or whatever in the credits.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Ken Foree, I think he's a security guard or something fighting off some zombies. And
Yeah. It's funny. There's a few homages to the original, like
yeah,
sprinkled throughout. And you hear about them or you could IMDb,
yeah.
crazy trivia, whatever they call it. So what's next? What's your next movie to talk about?
Well, since we talked about the Dawn of the Dead, so let's go with like kind of a spoof of those movies, and that's Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the
Sorry,
Dead.
camera here,
Yes, sir.
which is a perfect spoof to Dawn of the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Even uses the music from the original.
Got some red
Um,
on you.
yeah, so what do you think about Shaun of the Dead?
I love it. I when this came out, I didn't realize it was going to be a trilogy of movies. So by the time
Yeah,
Hot Fuzz came out, I just wanted every Edgar Wright movie to have Simon Pegg and Nick Wright, just everyone,
yeah,
everyone. And by the time it got to Unworld's End, I changed my mind.
yeah,
so,
yeah.
I,
World that wasn't very good. The World's End, no.
but I really enjoyed Shaun of the Dead for so many reasons. His editing. I don't know if he used the same editor, but I remember seeing and reading about with Baby Driver, they had the editor on set working off of a rig with a internet connection, a MacBook Pro, and like a whole bunch of hard drives. And he was doing live editing as they were recording. And the whole
Yep.
thing is that it took that long to get all the editing and timing down to have it synchronized with the music and everything. And we see a brief little thing of that in this movie as well, with a beautiful scene set to Queen music. But
One of my favorite scenes in that
oh,
movie.
so good, so
Kill the Queen. Kill the Queen.
good. But I don't know what it is. I think when I first watched this, I paid more attention to it as a horror comedy and less to it as a homage of various zombie movies. And
Yeah.
it's only upon multiple rewatches that I finally got to a part where I'm like, well, that's from so and so. And that's just like Night of the Living Dead. And, it was just like they all just started popping up in my head because I'd seen it enough times to finally say, oh no, there's much more deeper than this surface level every time I look at it and just laugh my head off. What about you?
That's hilarious. Same. I love this movie. From the opening where
Mm,
it's the credits where it shows them everybody looking like zombies, but really they're just on their phones. It's kind of like how we are
yeah,
nowadays.
yeah,
Everybody's a zombie, right? So
pretty much.
I love that. Of course, Simon Pegg and Nick Frost together, man, they're just hilarious.
I
And
said Nick Wright. Ooh,
is it Nick?
I don't know
Is
what
it?
it is Nick Frost.
No, it's Nick.
I said Nick
Yeah, yeah.
Wright for some reason. I got him on my mind.
But no, it's just everything about the film, like the just the one line that they always say, "You got red on you." First, he's got the pen, and then the blood, and it's just like it's like showing you things to come.
Yeah.
And even when he's like when it first starts and he's walking to the convenience store, and it's like he has no idea that everybody around him zombies. He's just walking, doing his normal routine, paying for the stuff, and just walking back to
Yeah.
his house. I just love it.
And of course, the birth of the cornetto. Well, not
Yeah,
a birth, but the use of cornetto.
yeah.
Let's see. Catch up on some comments here. Good old Shaun of the Dead. Yep. Nobody knew it would be a trilogy. True.
No.
Let's see. Disagree. I prefer World's End over Hot Fuzz, but Shaun of the Dead is the best of the trilogy. To each your own. We got James in the house saying hello. Hello to you, sir. Happy Sunday.
Hello,
Yes,
James.
we just mentioned Piper Laurie and Suzanne Summers before you popped in. Shame. But, great lives, great careers, I'm
Also,
sure.
coming home from school, Suzanne Summers and Step by Step was my jam.
Yes, yes. Somebody else mentioned that here. I know her from Step by Step. Yep. Dell agrees. At World's End is a week. Is it a trilogy? Still a good movie. Yeah, but after the first two, it's like,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's enjoyable, but yeah, after the first two, it's like could have been better, in
Yep.
my opinion.
Susan. Movies and Sue. Everyone check out Movies and Sue. She says hi. Tell her we said hi back. Happy
Say
Sunday.
hi back, yeah.
Movie Hunter, Peg and Frost are perfect together. Yes. Yes. Never seen Shaun of the Dead. James, I know you're getting into more of the horror genre. This is more horror comedy. And if you've been watching any of the zombie movies, any of the Romero movies, Night of the Living Dead, I know that's a Criterion, so I know you checked that out. Day of the Dead, like we were just Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, like we were just talking about before. You get that it's kind of like a horror comedy, but it's also homages to various zombie movies that came before it. But it's funny. It's funny. Simon Pegg, which you might know from Mission Impossible movies, great. This was kind of like, I would say, the advent of his popularity in his career. So definitely check that out.
I don't think without Shaun of the Dead, he would have got probably Top Gun. In my opinion. Top Gun, not Mission Impossible. Sorry.
Yeah. Definitely more American audiences wouldn't have known him.
Yeah.
Del says, forever think of Three's Company. I think of Suzanne Summers. Piper made Carrie work for me. Yep. Let's see. People saying hi to each other. Yep. Shaun of the Dead and From Dusk Till Dawn. Amazing double feature. Interesting. I could see it.
Yeah, I can see that.
it. Yeah. I think sometimes it's hard when you try to do not both horror, like there are horror fans that can't stand horror comedies. I'm finding more of them as I have these conversations, but it's so good when it works perfectly. So, Tucker and Dale versus Evil. I was telling you I watched that last Sunday, rewatched it. That's another great example of a horror comedy that works well. See, you do the same thing I do. It's like you mention it or someone else mentions it, and immediately you're like doing a Joker smile. It just comes to your face.
I'm just thinking about those scenes right now.
Yeah, it just.
I have to show Melissa that. Melissa's never seen it.
Oh, I thought she saw it before.
She's never seen Tucker Dale. No.
Yeah, it's funny how Romero had Peg and Frost as zombies in Land of the Dead.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it comes full circle, man. But yeah,
unfortunately, Land of the Dead to me is not one of my favorites.
Yeah, I think after Day of the Dead, they kind of take a dip. They take a major dip for me. I mean, the one I can never remember, with
Diary of the
Dennis
Dead.
Hopper. Yeah.
That's Land of the Dead.
Yeah, that's the one in Pittsburgh or Pennsylvania somewhere. I don't know. Anyway,
zombies talk. Yeah.
Yeah. After we're getting close to that by the end of Day of the Dead, though.
Yeah.
We're getting close. Yeah. So, I think after that one, it just takes such a dip. It's not even worth talking about. Yeah.
No.
Yep. Tucker and Dale is fantastic. Yeah. So, it's still a great zombie movie. You know, we're talking the comedy in it, but outside of that, it's still a good zombie movie. The situations that happen, they're comedic, but it's all the right ingredients for a good zombie movie, you
Still
know?
has great yeah, it still has great practical effects. Still, you
Mm-hmm.
know, the zombies, you know, they're hiding for their lives. It's a comedy, but you can picture what you would do in that situation. And
Yeah.
just the fact that the thing they decide to do is go to the pub and hide out there because that's the pub he always goes to. Is, you know, some of us would probably do that.
Yeah. Or other people go to the mall. You go to where it's
Yeah,
familiar. Oh, another good mention here. Final Girls. Underrated
Final Girl's
comedy.
really good. Yeah,
Yeah. Hilarious. Yeah.
yeah.
It's a good one. Check
I
it out
showed
if you haven't seen that.
I showed Melissa that one I think last year. So
Mm, nice. All right. What else you got for us?
all right, well, since we're still talking about horror comedies, this is another zombie film, but it's I consider a horror comedy, and that's Return of the Living Dead.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Which one do you
One
have?
of my favorite. This is
The
just
Blu-ray?
the Scream Factory Blu-ray, but
Yeah.
I didn't upgrade to 4K. So with the 4Ks, I'm trying to upgrade the ones I don't have slipcovers of,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't have a slipcover of this one, so I was going to upgrade it. I waited too long, and now the 4K has no slipcover, so I'm like, I forget it.
Same thing. Same thing. I mine doesn't have a slipcover either.
Yeah, so
But it's so it's not pure comedy, but
no,
it's tongue in cheek horror from the opening
yeah,
scenes. It's tongue in cheek horror, and the thing about it is, it's still at the root, still a great zombie movie. Like I was saying before, it's a great zombie movie that has comedic elements. You would say?
yeah, yeah, I would say that. And it introduced us to Tarman, like he's like the best zombie ever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But
Send more cops.
send more cops, yeah. Um, but and I don't know if you've seen the second one or the third one. I
Long
find they're
time
just as
ago.
good. They're
Long
just as
time
good.
ago. I haven't picked them up or anything like that, but VHS, DVD days. Yeah.
I find the third one is the more serious of the three, though. Um,
Um, I think we just
the first and second
mentioned
one are more
Jeff's
comedy.
question. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is part two
it's worth
worth
watching. Yeah,
watching?
I enjoy it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it kind of starts off almost with well, I won't spoil it, but it's got like almost the same kind of feel, and the beginnings is similar than like the first one, and some
Yeah.
of the same characters playing different characters. So
That was so weird.
yeah,
That was so it was almost like American Horror Story where they had the same
yeah,
actors
yeah,
coming back in the new season and they're just playing different parts. It was like, but you were and you died in
yeah. And then I
yeah.
think one season, didn't they bring them all back for one season or something? Like all
Mm-hmm.
the stories?
Think
Like, how are
so.
you going to do that when they're all different characters?
Yeah. So weird. But yeah, I remember like aspects like that of the sequels, but as much as I remember, I don't think any of them really compared to the original of the, I don't know if you want to call it a
Oh
franchise or
no,
whatever.
no, no. The first one is will always be the best.
Yeah.
Um, I think Justin from Movie Watch Daily would disagree. I think the third is his favorite. But
Mm.
yeah, but I've always loved this movie. I just saw the sequels like a couple years ago too. Like I've seen this movie. I was probably 13 when I saw it, where the sequels came much later.
Yeah.
But no, this movie, and you got Linnea Quigley dancing naked at a grave. So
Period.
what's not better than that?
Yeah. Then you could put on Night of the Demons and see lipstick all over the place. So, it's all whatever you're into. Whatever you're into. So, update.
Up by 14. Okay, good.
You got a friend in Jeff.
I'm saying, Jeff, though, if they're losing, don't tell me. I don't want to know.
It'll take a while if they're up by 2 touchdowns. It'll take a while for them, but
Yeah. I
the
think it's in the
Detroit.
third now.
Detroit Mystique. You never know.
You never know. You never know.
She's enjoying this. Oh
What
man.
else? What else do you? What else do you like about Return of the Living Dead?
I like that it has, like I was saying, it has a great zombie story with, just like we were saying before, the comedic elements wrapped around it. I also like the fact that the way the zombies are is a little bit different than what we saw before, and probably a lot different than what we saw after that too. So, people talk about landmark changes in the movies, like, okay, this movie they start moving fast, or this movie they could climb on top of each other and they move really fast, or this is where they used to be undead and now they're zombies, and different tropes, different movies. But I never really hear anybody talking about Return of the Living Dead as one of those milestones to a change or anything like that.
To me, it's a milestone because I think it's like the first zombie film with the comedic elements in it. Usually,
Hmm.
it was like Dawn of the Dead or Day of the Dead. It was, well, I guess Day of the Dead did have some comedic elements,
Yeah,
but
but not to
I
this level.
not yeah, not to this level. And yeah, so it's just, and it's a movie that I think anybody can watch. It's not overly scary. And
Hmm.
so I think if you're a casual horror fan, I think Return of the Living Dead's one to start with because it's a lot of fun. And the music, it's very 80s. I'll just say that.
Yeah, very punk 80s,
Yeah, punk
very much
80s.
so. And great makeup too. Like you were saying
For sure.
before, like early Romero, they tried to get it one way and they got blue zombies out of it, and that's been parodied so many times too. To the
Oh
point
yeah,
I,
for
I
sure. Yeah.
I always think of the blue milk in Star Wars when I see that makeup. I don't know why. It's like almost the same shade or hue or whatever. But the makeup in
Well, he
this
was
one
like
for the
he was like
zombie,
uh he was like Night of the Living Dead is black and white. What are the zombies gonna look like?
yeah, they just had powder on their face. Now what? What was the one that was in the basement? Did that one have a name?
One in the basement, that's Tarman, isn't it? Or no, it was yeah, that's Tarman, isn't it?
Okay, what am I thinking
So
of then? I don't know. It's
I
Sunday.
think he's in the
It's
basement.
okay.
There's one on the, I don't know if there's another one that comes out of I don't know if it's the basement or like it's the bottom floor, and he looks all yellow and he runs at them.
Hmm.
I don't know if you remember
Maybe
him or
that's the
not,
one
but
I'm thinking of.
I don't know if he had a name or not.
I think we both need to do a rewatch soon. The zombie
I just
interrogation
watched
scene is great.
it and I don't remember. Oh yeah, with the girl.
Oh, I'm sorry, Melissa. Now she's not going to drink the blue milk in Disneyland when you go. Sorry. Or you could drink it and think you're drinking zombie juice. That might be fun. Let's see. What's next up on the list? Moving on.
Before we get to the list, I gotta do something quickly, so I'll be right back.
Sure. If you have any questions for Jeff, please put them in the chat. Yes, I'm picking on you, Jeff. You're the person we don't know enough. But if you don't have any questions for him, if you have any questions for Eric, Zombie Daddy, you could add it before he comes back. The runner was hanging in the freezer. Maybe that's what I was thinking of. You would think I haven't seen this movie in years. I just recently rewatched it when I got the 4K. No more soda. Update on my computer. It gave out on waiting to connect to a network, and it just totally died. Brand new, 3 months old. Terrible. Nope, still looking. I just turned it off. You good?
Sorry about that.
No problem.
Good. I just saw the message come up that my computer's about to die, so I had to plug it in quick.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the runner guy is the one I was thinking of. People are saying his name was Yellow.
Yeah, okay, okay.
Oh, here's a good
Yeah,
question. What
so
do you
back
think
to that,
of?
yeah, the scene.
Go ahead.
Warm Bodies was okay. Life After Beth, I haven't seen yet.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that one. But what do you think about like zomcoms like that?
Uh, like I said, Warm Bodies, it was okay, but it wasn't really my type of film.
Yeah. Okay. What's the next one you have for us?
All right, so the next one, and this one might people might say it's not a zombie film, and it is more of a virus film, but they're still like zombies. So 28 Days Later,
Yeah.
I can get I have a
There
glare.
you go.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so I know it's a virus film. It's a virus from monkeys, I believe. That's like called the rage virus. And but what's cool about it is it's not, yeah, if they bite you, you get infected, but it's also their blood or their saliva touches you, pretty much you get infected. So it's one of those, it's a very, very scary premise. And just what's his name? Cillian Murphy.
Hmm.
When he wakes up from the hospital, nobody's there. It's 28 days later, like the title. And he's walking around to an empty hospital. Then he walks out in an empty city. It's one of the most unnerving sequences, I think, in
Yeah.
a film.
Very reminiscent of the Omega Man slash I Am
Yeah,
Legend,
no,
you know. But
yeah,
now add
but done
raging
better.
zombies.
Yeah,
Add those raging zombies. I still associate it as, being a zombie like because the one thing just we were talking the other day about the different monsters and different lores and how they change over time. But the one thing about the zombie lore is that it has changed. Like the early days, it was based more on voodoo and Caribbean type mythology, and it was more the undead, and it could be anybody. They were workers, really. They would take dead bodies and make them work like dead man shifts. Part of the reason why we call it that. Um, but then it evolved, and by the time you got to Romero, it was like something completely different. And from there, so in a way, I kind of found like 28 Days Later, kind of like the next step in the elevation
yeah,
of zombie lore. So I see it as zombie related, definitely, definitely.
definitely, yeah. I guess you could go either way with it. You could, if you want to have like a virus double feature, watch this and Outbreak, and then if you think it's a zombie film, watch this and Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, there you go. And why is he naked? Like, where's his gown? Hey, you know,
That is true. Why is he naked? Like, why is he in a hospital again? But who knows?
needed to have something scintillating in there. um, yeah, and I think the setting also added to it as well. Not your typical stuff that we see. For some reason, a lot of zombie movies are American, and it's nice to see. Even though we're not going to talk about it, um, I always get this title wrong. Is it One Cut of the Dead?
I don't know if
It's kind of like a horror comedy movie, and they just remade it for France. I want to say it's One Cut. Yeah, One Cut of the Dead, 2017. And that was a that was an Asian. Yeah, it was a Japanese zombie comedy film, and
gotta
then
check that one out.
they just remade it. They made a French version remake of it just recently. So yeah, I just see like different interpretations of that just being part of the zombie lore. It's all the
Yeah.
same thing. Let's see. We got Mika in the house saying hello. Thanks for
Hey,
checking in.
hey, Mika.
You miss all the fun stuff in the beginning with the computers and everything. They're trying to take over. Dell says virus movies or undead is just somatics. They're all zombies. Yeah, they're all not
Guess so, yeah.
themselves. They are all not themselves. But yeah, what I was saying is most zombie movies, as far as what we remember from '70s on, it's usually American. So just to have a different setting, whether it's Japan with One Cut of the Dead or here with the UK, it just, it just makes a difference. Sometimes location is everything, and it just goes from there. So elevation of the subgenre, and then changing location makes it a different vibe for sure.
Definitely. And I
Uh,
know you love this movie, but Train to Busan,
yes,
that's one of
yes,
the. I didn't add it to this list, but it was up there.
yeah. I was making a joke saying when I was putting together the list and asking people for movies, Busan, Hereditary, it was like the low hanging fruit ones that everybody wanted to talk about. I was like, nope,
Yeah,
four other people want to talk about that.
yeah,
uh, let's see. Yeah, I need to sage this whole basement. I don't know, some juju going on down here. I need to get rid of. Maybe somebody watch Hereditary while I wasn't home. That's my juju movie. I think that movie's just full of juju. Ask Mika. I'm just
I'm
full of
sure.
juju. That's why I don't have a copy.
It's such an unnerving movie, man.
It is. It is. Two different movies in one, but definitely
Yeah,
unnerving. Yeah, she's saying it right here. Busan, favorite zombie movie currently. Yeah, just because it adds
it's
so much
amazing. Yeah,
more than just the zombie story. There's heart, there's tenderness, family, all that stuff
yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. Busan is one of the few zombie movies I like. Well, we're talking all zombies, so I'm glad he got one in
Another movie.
there.
It's another movie I got to show Melissa still.
Yes. Um, Hashtag Alive, another good Korean zombie flick. I think it's only on Netflix. I gotta check that out.
Yeah, check that. Put that on my watch list.
Yeah, shout out to Dell, man. Dell and the twins, always a great recommendations for horror movies. And in Dell's case, also Korean movies too. Or yeah, I like that. Boom, 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 boom. This is the fun part because we moved through zombie movies that we both agreed upon, and I said at the end, go ahead and surprise me with one. Hit me with something that I'm not expecting. So I don't know if it's going to be one he likes, might be one that he thinks is absolutely terrible, but I'm going to give him the screen and let him talk about it. Give us a synopsis of
All
the
right.
movie too.
Before I get to that movie, though, I was actually gonna do a movie I don't like,
Okay.
which is, and I don't have a copy of it. It's I don't know if
Well, you
anyone's
don't
seen it,
like it.
but it's called Strippers.
Strippers.
Uh, yeah, it's with starring Jameson. And no, it's not a porn. It's just she's just in it. But
Huh.
uh, it was one I was gonna pick, but I decided, I'm gonna go with a movie that I really love instead, and that
Okay.
is Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse.
Huh. Tell
Another
us
horror
the
comedy.
synopsis. Tell us what it's about.
So it's about a scout troop who I guess they're trying to get their badges. They go on a little I guess camping thing with their troop master, which is played by David Kochner? And yeah, and then they run into zombies. It's kind of a
Huh.
quick thing. Like there's other things that happen in between, but I don't want to spoil it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a hilarious movie. They use their skills from being in the scouts to kill the zombies, and yeah, if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. Have you seen that one, KB?
I have not. Dell says it's hilarious, so I got to check it
It's
out.
hilarious.
Melissa says, of course, he says that one. Mika says, great pick, so funny. Jeff wants to know, is there a zombie badge? That sounds good. Is it like physical only? Is it on any streaming services that you know of?
I don't know if it's on streaming. It might be on Shutter, but it's I have the Blu-ray here, so
Mm-hmm.
I know the Blu-ray is pretty cheap though. I think it's you can get it online for less than $10.
Cool.
Um, but yeah, I know it's hilarious. It's and they also run into a girl who works in a strip club, and she pretty much shows them the ropes and helps them kill the zombies too. So
Nice.
But definitely a hilarious movie.
Not sure Jameson's in Scouts Guy, but she's in Zombie Strippers with Robert
Yeah, that's
Englund.
the one I'm talking about. Zombie Strippers with Robert
Okay.
England's in it. Yes.
Yes. Ah, then I definitely need to watch this. I'm trying to, since I watched the documentary, the Hollywood Legends and Nightmares. Um,
Yeah.
I've been trying to watch or rewatch some post Freddy Robert Englund movies, whether it's Urban Legend or Phantom or whatever it is.
Well,
Again,
Zombie
strippers.
Strippers. I think Zombie Strippers is like it's. I think it's early 2000, maybe 2000.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, he's in that movie with Jenna Jameson. I think even her. I think it was her husband at the time. The MMA fighter Ortiz. I think he's in it too. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's definitely it's not the best. But if
Hmm.
you want like C horror, not even B horror, C horror, you
Wow.
might enjoy it.
I,
But
that's a name
Scouts Guide is an A is an amazing movie.
I might have to do a double feature of those two. That is a name I have not heard in a mighty long time. Mighty long time. I used to work in a video store. That's all I'll say. Um, people are talking about. I bet Orbit has it. I'll have to check and see. 44, but it's okay. We don't go by Rotten Tomatoes. They
Yeah, Rotten
misguide us.
Tomatoes. Don't listen.
6.2 on IMDb. Okay, so see, two totally different ratings. Um, yeah, I'll definitely check that out. Nice. I like those choices. Great pick. Great picks to end it too. I'll check out the crappy one and then I'll watch a better movie.
Yeah,
Nice
yeah.
little double feature.
You'll definitely laugh your ass off with Scouts Guide. You might
Cool.
laugh your ass off with Zombie Strippers too, but in a different way.
Yeah, in a good way. In a good way.
Yeah,
And a bad way.
yeah,
Is
yeah.
it one of those so bad it's good movies or it's just bad?
Just bad. Yeah.
Okay. At least I know what I'm getting into. All right. Let's knock out these other questions and we'll get out of here. Let's see. Yes, Mika favorite subgenre is the zombie films. Yes. All right. So number 3. Name a horror movie that everybody loves, but you dislike it for some
Oof.
reason or another.
Let's
Don't
see
worry
here.
about losing friends.
This is a hard one because I don't dislike a lot of movies. I know I don't like the new movies like The Nuns and all that. I don't like any of those. Um, I'm trying to think of an older movie that everybody likes. Um,
I
I don't
mean,
know.
we could
I'm
go
trying
with
to
that.
just go with The Nun.
Yeah, just go with the Nun. I
Yeah,
mean, especially if you don't have a lot that you dislike. Do you like any of like the Conjurings and all that stuff?
I do. I do like The Conjuring. The
Mm-hmm.
first, I like the first three Conjuring movies. I like the last or the last two Annabelle movies. I didn't like the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, the Nun movies. They just
Yeah.
seem more like I guess half horror, half like Indiana Jones type movie, and it's just I don't think they go
Hmm.
good together.
Yeah. Oh, we have someone piping in an answer for you here. How do you feel about The Omen?
Oh, you know what? She's doing that because I forgot. Yes, The Omen is a movie I don't like. I've never liked The Omen, the original Omen, and I don't, and it just bores me. I don't know what it
Yeah.
is. I try to watch it. Even the sequels are terrible, even worse than the first one. But I just can't get in The Omen. Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah.
I almost
Okay.
bought the Scream Factory set just to have it, and then I was like,
I did the same thing and it's not on my shelf. So I think we both made the right decision, especially if we're not major fans. She says you're
and
welcome.
I know Melissa told me the other day hers is Rosemary's Baby. So
I think it's too much. I agree with you, Mel. I think it's too much composition for the shocking payoff.
Yeah, the ending at the
Like,
end. Yeah,
yeah, it comes down to 5 minutes of horror. The rest of it is just like, shout out to Mark from Tales from the Shelf, suggested horror. That's what he called Blair Witch Project. That's what I call Rosemary's Baby for the most part. Suggested horror.
yeah,
Good
suggested
one.
horror.
I was surprised the other day to find out the Nun 2. Yeah, over a quarter billion. Yeah. But I think that a lot of these new movies, it's like you're waiting for the next jump scare.
Yeah,
And you're
that's
waiting
all.
for the next sequel or the next part in a franchise. And it's not enough. It's lacking originality. It's lacking, like I said, composition in these movies. I'm not a fan of the Conjuring movies. I've tried. I've tried Insidious and the Conjurings and all that. It's just not for me. It's not my bag at all. Um, so
Like I
yeah,
like
I
the
totally get
character.
it.
I like the character. The nun
Yeah,
character I like, and I liked her in The Conjuring too. But for some reason, her own movies, I just
yeah,
I just
yeah.
can't get into it.
It's not for me. Not for me. All right. So number 4, name a horror movie that you think needs more love. People don't talk about it. What do you think of when you hear that question?
Um, I would say Phantasm. Phantasm is one that I really enjoy that I don't think a lot of people talk about.
Mm,
Um, it is a weird franchise and a weird movie, but I just there's something about it. I've always enjoyed watching it. The music's amazing in it, and
yeah,
even the sequels, they're just a lot. The sequels are a lot of fun. So
yeah. When I did spooky season last year, I had Garrett from the Rad Pack, and that was one of his choices. So it was nice to revisit it, especially even though had a nice physical release recently, but it's still not something that people talk about. They don't talk about that villain. They don't talk about the movies as much as Friday the 13th just came out once again. Who cares at this point? Everybody's got a copy, but it's like certain movies from the 80s definitely don't get enough love, and then people watching is like, why have I never heard of this before? So
yeah,
yeah, and people are saying it right now in the chat. you know um Phantasm is creepy. It still has that effect. Jeff follows up immediately. Tall man, very creepy.
very creepy, very creepy.
um yeah, so there's different things that don't get enough love about that movie. So also, we got some chatter going back and forth about the Insidious movies and Rosemary's Baby and Omen. So, yeah, keep the chat going. We'll highlight them as we go along. So, before we get to our last question, I'm glad we were able to do this. What did you
Sure.
think?
I'm so happy you asked me to do this.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
if you guys don't know, KB was supposed to come down here to Toronto to the Toronto International Film Festival, and we were going to hang out. Unfortunately, we couldn't do that. KB, you got really sick,
The vid.
which we're all happy. I know we're all happy that you're doing better
Mm-hmm.
and that you're back to what you love because like watching all these conversations, spooky season, like I've watched them all and I've enjoyed them all, and
Thank you.
I've found people that I've maybe never watched before, and it's through this your format here with this with the conversation. Um,
Thank you.
and like I've enjoyed them all, and I now follow all of them, and I've been watching videos like crazy, trying to catch up on all these content creators, and it's been a lot of fun.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
So
Um,
what you're doing here is awesome, man.
Thanks. I love doing this. I love talking movies with people. You and I go back and forth when you're home in the day, and you know, what did you pick up today? This is what I'm looking forward to coming out and everything. So the love is there. So any opportunity I have to talk movies with people, I love the opportunity to do so. I didn't tell you this. So after COVID's over, I check in work the Monday after I would have gotten back from hanging out with you guys. And my coworker, who was on vacation for her birthday, she took like 10 days off or something crazy like that, like a 2 week vacation. And I hear my supervisor saying, "So, yeah, what did you do while you were away for your birthday?" And she's like, "Oh, I went up north and got a chance to see a couple of flicks." And she big grin on her face. And I popped in right as she said, "See a couple of flicks." I'm like, "Uh-oh, talking movies. What are you talking about?" And she's like, "Oh, well, I just came back from the Toronto International Film Festival. We go every year, and I take a week off, and I go and I get a pass, and I see all the movies." And I'm like, "You were at TIFF? You go every year?" It was like I got like deadpan on my face and whatnot. And she's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Well, I was supposed to go, but my body was just having fun going both ways, so I couldn't get on
Yeah.
an airplane at that time." So we already made plans. I mean, she's definitely going to be there, but definitely made plans to meet up. Now that I know how it is, I might just save up and get myself a pass and just take a week off and come up there. That way I could see some more movies, hang out with you more, especially, different schedules and everything. I
Yeah.
think that would be so much fun because I'm still heartbroken that I didn't get a chance to
We
come up
we are
there.
we are too. We are too.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Get a chance to hang with you guys, see a couple movies. And from what I heard, this has probably been one of the best years in comparison to the past. Less celebrities because of the strikes going on, but
Yeah.
better quality movies. So,
Oh,
what
the
one
stuff
more? Yeah,
the stuff
uh,
that we saw, yeah, it was definitely great.
yeah, yeah. One more check in with the chat, and then we will get ready to land this plane. Let's see where I left off here. Dallas never seen a Phantasm movie. Check out the first one. See if you like it for
Yeah.
sure. The twins have to get to Toronto. Would love to go to the film festival. 10-hour drive for us. You could do that. I could do that. I wish it was
Definitely
10
come down.
hours.
We can
I
we can
wish it
all
was
we can all
only,
hang out.
yeah, and they're fun. Melissa Tulsa, always welcome. And apparently you're going to Salem next year. That's their favorite
Oh,
place to go. So you can meet the twins. John Doe Juggalo on the check-in. What's up, man?
uh,
Uh, Getting ready to land a plane. Check the replay if you can. Check my IG story as well. We'll have some highlights on there soon. The ladies are going back and forth, talking about meeting up and so forth. Yeah. So last question before we get out of here, and that would be number 5. Who would you like to see me have a conversation with on this channel?
well, there's always Sean Clark. I would like to see that. Grim Life. They're they're a couple that go and visit creepy places and movie locations.
Hmm.
And last one, two hilarious guys, and that's we watched a movie. Those guys would be hilarious on this show.
I don't know if someone recommended them to me before or I checked them out once or twice. They have a YouTube channel, right?
They have a YouTube channel. They're really into Halloween, and they do skits with as Michael Myers and Loomis, and it's hilarious.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I've seen them before. So that would be fun. Just last night, I did a pre-record on Friday for an upcoming date, and the people answered this question, and they recommended 2 guys who do a podcast. Strict Horror. They actually met at the theater where we had Carpenter Fest last night, and there's always one guy who always is the host and hyping up the crowd, whatever. And I didn't see him there. We got there early. I didn't see him. The guys who are on stage doing the same thing, doing trivia, hyping everybody up, were the ones that were recommended. So during one of the breaks, I told them the whole thing. I was like, "Dudes, you were recommended like less than a day or so. So I want to get you on the podcast." I was like, "Hell yeah, we'll come on." So yeah, so it was a nice quick turnaround. So they should be coming on soon. And to make you smile even more, you got the
Yes.
win. Hello, Azu. Thanks for checking in.
Oh, that's my other son, Hunter, right there.
Oh, it's Hunter.
Yeah.
Hello. He says hi.
What's up?
Um, yeah, man. Thanks for doing this. This was fun.
Thank you for having me.
I
It's a lot of
almost
fun.
I had to remind myself there's other people here because we just chat. So I had to say, oh yeah, check in with the chat here because we'll just keep going on and on,
Oh,
talking
for
over
sure.
each other. Yeah, that's what we do. Thank you for everyone streaming this, replaying this. Shout out to the people in the chat as always. Got love for
Thank you,
you.
everybody.
I'm going to post this week's guest on Instagram this coming week. I'm going to post that in the morning. But we have some new and some returning guests, so it should be good. Follow this man here on YouTube.
Yeah.
He
Follow me.
well, why am I talking for you? Tell him what you do on your channel.
So follow me at Zombie Daddy Films. I do unboxings, hauls. I've visited a couple grave sites. Corey Haim, that's a video up there. Some shopping videos, and probably some reviews coming up too. We are going to LA next month, so I'm sure there are going to be some Universal Studios Horror Night videos coming and some Disney videos. So look forward to that.
I hope you guys have so much fun. That's going to be a great trip. Also, you can
Can't
follow
wait.
him on Instagram. He does
Yep.
haul videos too. Good stuff. And then you get to see cool things in the background like Reagan and Bates motel signs and all that good stuff. Yes, we have some.
Better quality too. I'm using my computer camera, so it's a little blurry.
Yeah. I usually have better quality, but this works too. I'm just a little, complexion moving into the background thing. Great conversation. Thank you, dear.
Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you, Adrian. Thank you, Mika. Yeah, tell me what you think. Leave comments in the chat if you're watching on the replay for sure. Thank you, sir. Always
Thank you, guys.
good to have you. Yeah, I caught that too. I was like, next month or next week? It's sooner than you think, bro.
Oh yeah, next week. My head's just spinning. Everything that's going on, I can't think.
Yeah, don't think you're walking into work when you're getting on a plane.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good. All right, everyone. Have a great rest of your evening. Thank you for joining us. And as I always say, go watch a movie. Have a good night.